Three of the greatest players in the world right now are under 27 years old. I think then if you add Dustin Johnson, Shane, after what we've seen this year in the majors and what's occurred, golf seems to me to be in better shape than it's been in 8 years. 2008, when Tiger won his last major.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to think it's been, and even then, during the Tiger era, I mean, you didn't really have Tiger versus anybody. It was just Tiger and then everybody else. What I think is cool and cooler, really, right now than anything we really saw with Tiger, is that we're actually having the young guys go at each other. We saw Spieth and Jason Day paired together at both the British and obviously the PGA Championship. And of course, you know, don't we? We all want Rory Spieth, but I mean, you've got to put Jason Day at this point in that conversation as kind of the big three in golf right now. I mean, these guys have won 5 of the last 6 majors between them. And you know, of course, Jordan Spieth doesn't win, but now we have an American #1 in the world, and he's 22 years old. I mean, I wrote this on Twitter yesterday. If you don't like golf now, you're just not going to like it.
Yeah,
because this is about as good as it's going to be.
I don't know that they've transcended like Tiger did, but they have the potential to be transcended to the common person who doesn't really, the casual. I take back common. The casual person who doesn't pay attention to golf. We're still not at that point, but I think that Jordan Spieth, with what he accomplished this year, with Roy over the last couple of years, and Jason Day's story, his crying on the green, his family running up to him, his little boy, his background, his father dying when he's 12, that we have some drama, we have some stories that people can get their arms around that aren't golf fans, it would seem. I don't know where the question is.
And Woody, I agree with you 100% that nothing's going to transcend what Tiger did because he changed the game maybe more than anybody we saw since Arnie. But I think a combination of these guys can basically do that. I mean, I think a combination of this can push it into that same gear. You know, you mentioned Jason Day's basically story, and I mean, if people listen and haven't checked it out, you got to go read some stuff about it because it's really incredible. Especially considering how nice of a guy he is now. To think back to when he was a pre-teenager and really struggling with life. But you know, I think it's cool because you really do have 3 young players who all seem to like each other, but also are really trying to beat each other's brains out. And to me, that's the important part about all this is that we're getting guys that can win and are young. And I think we've seen young guys before, but they couldn't win, and that's the issue.
Yeah, Shane, you just brought up where I was going with my next question. Aren't these guys wusses, though? What we want is what we want is a rivalry. What we want is guys getting after each other. You got Rory drinking out. I mean, you got Jordan Spieth drinking out of somebody else's
flying
cup.
Home together.
Yeah, you got yesterday. Jordan is giving a thumbs up over to Jason Day. You got Rory sending him love messages and texts and everything. Don't we need more of Arnie and Jack really not liking each other for years, and Lee sort of picking on Jack? And
Tiger and Phil, even a little element of that.
I mean, are we missing that, or do we like this love fest?
I mean, you know, I just have to say this is just athletes in general these days. I think. I mean, I think the money has made these guys enjoy their life more than we've ever seen. You know, when you can fly private and you share a private jet, and one of the guys you're sharing it back with happens to win the British Open. I don't think you say, well, I'm not going to fly with the guy. You know, I think you just have to jump on the plane. I mean, I think that's just the nature of the beast. These guys make so much money that it's hard to go out there and want to really beat their brains out and show that. But I can guarantee that, you know, behind the curtain, Jordan Spieth wanted to win, and he wanted to win bad, and he wanted to beat, you know, Spieth. And I think Shane Ryan wrote a story in his book about, you know, Rory at the PGA last year when they'd get up to the tee and it'd be Ricky and Phil, who he's friends with. He wouldn't even go say anything to him. I mean, he was sitting by himself away from those guys to make a point that, you know, this is my job and I want to win. And so to me, that was, you know, that was at least an example of kind of what you're talking about. But I just don't think right now, with the amount of money out there, these guys are going to be quote-unquote enemies because it's just hard to be. I mean, you've got the best life in the world.
Yeah, Shane, we've got some supreme talent in the game right now, obviously. And we mentioned Spieth, McIlroy, the 2 Johnsons, Zach and Dustin. You've got Day. So give me 1 or 2 other names that you think could enter that stratosphere with those 5 guys. Are we looking at a Ricky Fowler? Who else might enter this circle of great players in the game who are going to be vying for major titles every 3 months?
I would say maybe not somebody every 3 months, but once a year, I think you throw in Hideki Matsuyama, who's just 23 and has made waves for majors in the past. And I would put Brooks Koepka there. I mean, Brooks Koepka, I think, now has 3 top 10s since the 2014 U.S. Open in majors. Played an incredible round on Sunday. Koepka's kind of one of those guys that has all the elements, and is still a young American. I think if people actually set their alarms for the President's Cup this year and get up at the crazy hours you're going to have to get up to watch this, you're going to see Koepka make a name for himself at that event, especially for the first time he's going to be on a team like this. I think he is really he's close to winning a major. I really believe it, and I think it could happen at 16.
Shane, you're an outstanding young golf analyst. I'm going to throw something at you. To answer Les's question, I think there are probably 3 guys out there that are playing in college right now that are going to join this, because we're now seeing 19-year-olds and 20-year-olds. I bet there's 3 or 4 guys that are playing in the U.S. Amateur and playing at Oklahoma State or Duke or someplace like that are going to be right there in another 2 or 3 years, because we're finding out that with the equipment and with the game and with the teaching that these guys are coming along fast like Tiger did. Is that possible?
The game is. I mean, the game is definitely going younger. Look at the LPGA yesterday. I mean, a 17-year-old Monday qualifies into the tournament and then wins it by $1 billion. I mean, that's where the game's going. I mean, if you look at like Bryson DeChambeau, who played incredibly well in the majors this year, just turning pro, and he's the type of player I think that not only thinks he's going to win, but thinks he's going to win quick. To me, it's the mentality that's changed. Tiger obviously did it young, and other guys have come along and did it young, Jordan Spieth being one of them. But to me, I almost feel like when these guys are 23 and 24, they're thinking my time's almost passed. So they know they need to get it and get it quick. Justin Thomas is a name, obviously, that's also on that list that's been playing some great golf as a professional. But, 17 and 18 years old, these guys now are doing what we saw with the LPGA in the past. They are literally saying, it's our time now to go out and win because everybody else is doing it at the same age as me.
Here, I have a suggestion for all of us, that we take the best 10 young golfers that are 25 and under, 26 and under, and we have a shootout. We just have them all go off the first tee, and let's see what you got. And let's have them throw snakes at each other like Trevino did. Let's have them jaw at each other. I think that would be a great made-for-TV event at the end of the year. Who do you like in the FedEx Cup? You've got 2 accomplishments this year that just incredible. You got one young man that's 54 under in the 4 majors, Jordan Spieth. You got a guy in Jason Day goes out and sets the record that Tiger Woods had established, 19, 18 under, that Tiger had done 19 once, 18 4 or 5 times. I saw all of those. And he goes out on a tough course. We talked about it last week, Shane, that Whistling Straits is not San Antonio Open. 20 under par is unbelievable.
No, not at all.
So of what we're seeing, though, who's going to end up winning the FedEx Cup, or is that going to be wide open again?
And those guys, I'm going Bubba. As long as it's not a major, Bubba has played incredible this year, and really has just continued to rank up the top 10. For whatever reason, non-Augusta majors have been Bubba's Achilles, but when he gets to these FedEx Cup and when he gets to these tournaments that are outside the 4 majors, he's played the best golf of anybody in the world. So I'm going to go Bubba to win the FedEx Cup. But, I will say that when the FedEx Cup first started, I think a lot of us kind of rolled our eyes and said, who knows what this thing's going to be? I mean, it seemed like an easy way for Tiger Woods to make $10 million extra a year. Now, the nice thing about it is it allows us to pay attention to golf for a few more weeks following the PGA Championship. So I do think they've done a solid job at that because, I mean, could you imagine us talking about this in 2008? I mean, it really didn't ever seem like it would catch on, and I think these guys actually go out and say, all right, we've got one more major. Granted, the major is a 4-week-long tournament, but I think they're excited about it. So I'll lean towards Bubba to do it.
Well, I hope we can talk to you then again. You've become one of our favorite regulars, and we appreciate that you spent 3 or 4 days with us the last week or so, and you were right on target with not only your answers but with your pick. And we'll keep up with Bubba and see if he doesn't make a mountain out of a anthill.
Well, hey, guys, anytime, I appreciate the time, and let's chat sometime in the middle of the FedEx Cup.
Thanks, Shane. We'll talk to you soon.